Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Boys News. How's everybody doing? I'm sorry about my hat right there. There we go. There we go. The hat right there. There we go. And it's I wanted to put this video on. I just bump into this video, which it was brought to me by a one of the most intelligent journalists which I have met. I met a lot of lady journalists. But she is an internationalist. She was born in Venezuela and she lives in Mexico. And she has traveled multiple times to Israel. Her name is Laura de Rosa. She's an internationalist journalist. And and I saw this video on her feed. When I saw this video, I was like, you have to be freaking kidding me. This is an incredible video. And it goes by the copy paste of what is happening right now to the United States of America. Let me just go and say it like it is. The replacement theory, it is not a theory anymore. Stop with that. To all the leftist, progressive, mercenary, activist, Marxist, communist, socialist, liberals, the replacement theory, it is not a theory anymore. It comes with migration. It comes with, it's a tactic. It is clearly a tactic. And I have said it multiple times before. The global compact of immigration has a purpose. The purpose of the United States of America is to basically destabilize the border. But ultimately, it has been set before, even with Barack Obama, it has been set before to bring the next generation of the next political party. The next generation of the next political party, it will reproduce and reproduce and reproduce, and the Republicans are going to get overwhelmed. It is a reality. It is what it is. This is they're using our Latino population for an agenda. And they're using the vulnerabilities of people, of the necessity of their poverty, insecurity in their countries, ultimately the necessity of a job. So now you bring them into the United States of America and you fast forward into 10, 20 years. What are you going to have? An overwhelming Democratic vote. Overwhelming Democratic vote. It is not a replacement theory. It's completely, not only replacement theory, but it's just to replace the political parties, and to basically displace the Republican Party from the United States of America, to create it as a non-existent political party and to just have one political party itself. I bumped into this video. I was with one of my friends and colleagues, also a journalist. He's in Florida. He's from Venezuela. His name is Raymond Azar. And we were talking about this specifically. We're talking about, he said something that is extremely important. Christians are reproducing by the ones and the twos. Muslims are reproducing by the 4, the 6, and the 8s. The Muslim population, it is growing, and Islam population, it is growing so much, man. It's overwhelmingly taking over cities, and next thing you know, countries. It is a reality. We're not lying about it. It's not, oh my God, Islamophobe. No, it has nothing to do with that. Stop with your, with your pamphlets and you stop being a snowflake. It has nothing to do with that. It's a reality. It's growing so much. It's massive. It's just growing. And now what you're seeing in the United States, the United States youth right now, growing into this culture shock that they hate so much the United States of America. It's unbelievable. Do you remember that youth back in the 50s and the 40s? That the recruitment, young kids used to go to recruit because if they did not get recruited or they did not make the military, they will be ashamed. They will feel less men, like they did not represent their country because their country was so great. That idea is completely the opposite now. It is the opposite in the United States. Now in the United States, it's so much hatred to the flag. is so much, I want to hate you, I want to burn you, I want to burn it all down. F capitalism. We need a social revolution. They don't even know what socialism is. They just read it on a book in their academia. But they think that a book resembles to the actual reality and truth of a country. They never lived in Venezuela. They never lived in Cuba. They never experienced socialism by itself. If you go to Florida and talk to Cubans, all Cubans are going to say F communism, F socialism. You're crazy. If you're going to talk to Venezuelans, say like F communism, F socialism, you're damn crazy, out of your head. You're out of your freaking mind, American. But these young kids today, the problem is the teachers and the parents who had let their kids in the hands of Marxists. The parents that they're paying us expensive tuition at Stanford, at Yale, at Brown, at Princeton, at Harvard, at Columbia, in NYC, UCLA, USC, SDSU, Arizona, Texas, Florida, all these expensive colleges. The parent is right there spending. They don't even know that their child, it is actually, the teacher is creating the enemy of your own home. When these kids are going to to their schools and colleges, they're actually, the teacher is teaching them to hate their own father, to hate the family values, to hate God, and to hate the flag. So the parent not knowing, he's actually paying to the enemy to create another enemy, which is his blood, to basically destroy his own future. Incredible how the system is growing. Incredible what is happening to the educational system of the United States. And now these young kids, instead of feeling proud, there's a few that they feel proud of their flag. But for God's sake, Jesus, man, before I go on, buy me a coffee. It is right there, pinned in the chat. I'm going to be traveling soon. People, I need your help. I cannot do this alone. You guys want me to be in caravans, Darien, going to Europe, going to all these places. I cannot do this alone, people. I'm telling you, swear to God, I cannot. I'm independent. So your support, it is much needed. There's a link right there for Buy Me a Coffee. Please donate and contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund. Come on, people. We cannot do this alone. We cannot be just, we have done this for multiple years. We need your support. This is actually, the parents are actually the one at fault. This is the way I see it. And now you see, fast forward to what I'm about to say. Now you see that the educational system, somebody's asking, where's the link? It's on the chat on YouTube. If you guys can go over there, it's on the chat. Buy me a coffee right there. So now you see that everybody, all the youth in the United States of America, the majority, these agitators. Now Adams, that's his name, the Mayor Adams of New York. Now he knows that there's external agitators coming in, and they're coming in to agitate in the schools, which on the Patrick David podcast, it was discovered that more than 1,000 phones, the ones that they give out at the border to the asylees and refugees, all those 1,000 phones were detected inside of campuses. What are they telling you? What I have been telling you before, and what I have been telling you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days in a row. I've been telling you, the Marxist, communist, progressive, activist, liberal is going to use the migrants to protest with basically the brainwash to say, if you don't help me protest, they're going to deport you. So you better protest. You better radically, do this, do that, do this. And you're going to get paid. So In the David Patrick show podcast, it was discovered that 1,000 phones of these phones that they were detected on the campuses, they were from these migrants that they're coming in and they give them the phones, their own government of the United States. So the progressive mercenary activist liberal, it is getting the migrants to use it. They're using them. What I just told you. And it is coming, and it is going to increase massively as the elections are coming. The elections are going to come, and they're going to use them here. They're going to use them there. And it's already here. But you know what is the most incredible thing? That it's not, we already know that it's not only the alumni. Coffee. It's not only the alumni. It's not only the alumni. It's not only the faculty. The alumni, the faculty. It is these other external, radical, progressive, mercenary organizations. Antifa, Black Lives Matter. Why in the hell the government of the United States of America has not completely eradicated these two organizations that they are made to basically destroy and divide? Why? Because they need them. It is a weapon. It is a weapon for the leftists. They need it to divide, to create the language that they so much talk about, hysteria, to fearmonger. All the things that they preach about is what they are. They're describing themselves in a mirror. You're a racist. You're a fascist. You're a narcissist. You're a bigot. You're a Zionist. That's you, leftist. You're an imperialist. That's you, leftist. You're a white supremacist. That's you, leftist. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're creating hysteria or fearmonger. That's you, leftist. All of it. And all these groups, what they're doing, you see women in the faculties and in the campuses of the universities in the United States wearing hijabs. Holy crap. Women that they don't even know the religion. And this is for every Islam, for every Muslim that is out there. The one that is a peaceful Muslim, the one that is a Sunni Muslim, let me tell you something for you. They're insulting your religion, these progressive mercenary activist liberals. Why? Because for a woman to wear a hijab, you have to convert to Islam. And these progressive mercenary activist, socialist, Marxist, communist liberals, they're mocking your religion by wearing a hijab to just project their socialist revolution agenda. Meanwhile, your women are actually wearing a hijab because in the Quran or in the Hadith, it says that a woman prefers to be seen only to his man, and they prefer to cover themselves to make themselves be pure in the eyes of God. That is what the Quran apparently in the Hadith says about a hijab. Now the leftists are using the hijab to mock your women and to make it look like they are progressively supporting your women when they live in the West. They don't live in the East. And at the end of the day, they remove their hijab and they go back home for sin. There's so much sin that you talk about, you, the Muslim. At the end of the day, this progressive mercenary activist liberals, these women, they remove their hijab and they go and they drink the haram, the sin that so much you talk about. These progressive Marxists, they're not only insulting your religion, they're mocking your women. They're mocking you like they have mocked Jesus, making fun of them at the cross, making fun of them at Resurrection Day. Now they're mocking your women, wearing a hijab for only to defend Palestine, the genocide. Now, hell with that. You want a socialist communist revolution. You use the vulnerabilities of people to your agenda. What has communism and socialism have to do with a war in Israel and Palestine and Gaza? Nothing. It is only because you want to bring your crap and destroy the capitalist system, the economical system, and bring your new communist socialist academia, Marxist system. They're mocking your women. Don't you think that I do not know the beliefs of the Quran? Whatever happened to those women that you so much defend in Islam? I remember Rashida Tlaib coming to Tijuana. When she came over here, I went and confront her. What the hell are you doing here? This is a Michigan congresswoman coming over here to Tijuana, yelling at a wall at the Mexican side. The hell is she doing over here? Not only that, she was sitting down for all you Islam, Muslim, Sunni, for all of you, and the Shia, for all of you. She was sitting down at a Christian service, at a Catholic service. I have proof of it. And she even got up on a line and took the communion in her hand, and she ate it. For you, that's blasphemy, because you don't believe that Christ was crucified. You don't believe in that, but that is your congresswoman that represents your religion actually committing sin, committing blasphemy to your religion. Like these progressive, mercenary, activist, communist, socialist liberals wearing a hijab and mocking your women. The ones that they don't even pray 5 times a day. The ones that they don't even pray behind a man 5 times a day. They don't get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to pray. They don't do the wudu. They don't wash their hands, wash their feet, wash their nostrils, wash the back of their head. They don't do that. They don't pray 4 times in the middle of the day. They don't pray again in the evening. They don't pray again at 6 and some in the evening, and they don't pray at night. They don't pray the 5 times, but they're mocking your women using the hijab, disrespecting your culture, disrespecting your religion. Where is your culture appropriation, the total destruction of culture, because they want to bring a Marxist agenda? So they use the religion, they use people, they use the vulnerabilities of people. These mercenary Marxist communist socialists, they know that the situation right now in the Middle East, it is vulnerable. So they use it for their advantage. They know that the situation at the border, it is so vulnerable that the migrants are vulnerable and they're in need. So they're going to use them. Democrats, leftists, progressives, that's what they're doing. And the culture is so far beyond now. Holy crap. It is so infiltrated in the United States of America that the United States and the West, the continent of the West, they do not realize how much Islam has grown. I don't have nothing against Islam. I don't have nothing against the religion. Nothing. But it's overwhelming what is happening. Us Christians, we're not growing by the 4s and the 5s because of our economical disaster and system by leftists. Christians are being persecuted. Yes, they are. They're being mocked. Yes, they are. And now for the Muslims, they're mocking your women. That's what they're doing. Impersonating a woman wearing a hijab. Isn't that disrespectful to you? I'm just bringing a point, because for those people in Iran that they're extremely, attached to Sharia law, this will be a complete, absolute disrespect what they're doing. Just saying. Look at this video. 20 minutes in, and I wanted to put this video on, and I haven't put it on. God's sake, you let me go on and on and on, man. Stop me, people. Stop me. Buy me a copy is right there. People want to contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund. Thank you so much. Much needed. Look at this video. Watch this video. Understand this video and analyze this video. Here you go.
90% has been Islamic immigration. France, 1.8 children per family. Muslims, 8.1. In southern France, traditionally one of the most populated church regions in the world, there are now more mosques than churches. 30% of children ages 20 and younger are Islamic. In the larger cities such as Nice, Marseille, and Paris, that number has grown to 45%. By 2027, 1 in 5 Frenchmen will be Muslim. In just 39 years, France will be an Islamic republic. In the last 30 years, the Muslim population of Great Britain rose from 82,000 to 2.5 million, a 30-fold increase. There are over 1,000 mosques, many of them former churches. In the Netherlands, 50% of all newborns are Muslim, and in only 15 years, half of the population of the Netherlands will be Muslim. In Russia, there are over 23 million Muslims. That's 1 out of 5 Russians. 40% of the entire Russian army will be Islamic in just a few short years. Currently in Belgium, 25% of the population and 50% of all newborns are Muslim. The government of Belgium has stated 1/3 of all European children will be born to Muslim families by 2025, just 17 years away. The German government, the first to talk about this publicly, recently released a statement saying, "The fall in the German population can no longer be stopped. Its downward spiral is no longer reversible. It will be a Muslim state by the year 2050. Muammar al-Gaddafi of Libya said, "There are signs that Allah will grant victory to Islam in Europe, without swords, without guns, without conquest. We don't need terrorists. We don't need homicide bombers. The 50+ million Muslims in Europe will turn it into a Muslim continent within a few decades." There are currently 52 million Muslims in Europe. The German government said that number is expected to double in the next 20 years to 104 million. Closer to home, the numbers tell a similar story. Right now, Canada's fertility rate is 1.6, nearly a full point below what is required to sustain a culture. And Islam is now the fastest growing religion. Between 2001 and 2006, Canada's population increased by 1.6 million, 1.2 of those immigration. In the United States, the current fertility rate of American citizens is 1.6. With the influx of the Latino nations, the rate increases to 2.11, the bare minimum required to sustain a culture. In 1970, there were 100,000 Muslims in America. Today, there are over 9 million. The world is changing. It's time to wake up.
Video from Laura de Rosa, an internationalist, friend of mine from Venezuela. How crazy is this? It's unbelievable where we're going. But undeniably, nothing against Islam, nothing against no other religion. What happened to Christians? And this is where I have seen public figures speaking about how Christians have become weak, and we have become non-believers on our own faith. We have separated ourselves from our own beliefs. We have forgotten about Jesus. Uh, Look at the youth right now that they don't believe in Jesus. And now it is all about I don't believe in Jesus. I believe that there's something out there. I believe that there's a God, but I don't know. So there's that thing that drives people to believe something else. It completely has taken away us from our faith. Christians have become weak. We have become, the mocking uh, of the world. They mock Jesus. Huh? On Resurrection Day, they mock Jesus in the United States of America. Eh? That is supposed to be the United States of America, the most Christian country uh, in the world. And they mocked Jesus on Resurrection Day. We have pulled away from our faith. We are pulling away, uh, you know, of our faith like enormously. And you can actually see it right now in the youth. In the youth around the world, they have pulled away from Jesus. Pulled away like you don't even imagine. They're far away from believing in him, far away from believing in his message, far away from believing in his beliefs. And now the thing is drifting to the other side. And this is the other side. Now you will see in the country uh, of the United States of America, you will see on that country college students advocating for Islam, advocating for Hamas, advocating for Hezbollah. Is drifting greatly and enormously. And if you guys want to know why it's drifting in the United States of America and in the schools, Cafecito, whenever you want, just let me know. Cafecito break. Saludos, Oscar. We look forward to hosting another interview. Whenever you want, just tell me, send me a message, and we arrange it. Send you a big hug all the way to New York. Whenever, it's drifting so hard. And I said this, starting this live feed, I said to you guys, it's because of the parents. And letting the parents do not know. It's like you don't even know your son anymore, man. You don't even know what he's being teach at school. And in the schools of the United States right now, they're teaching your son to hate his own country. You know that they have on classrooms, this is how crazy it is, man. It's so freaking crazy. They have this big flag of Black Lives Matter. Big hat, big flag. On the side of that big flag, they have a huge flag coming down with all the colors. That is the LGBTQWXYZ organization. Not only that, but coming down, they have a huge flag also of Ukraine. They have a huge flag of Palestine. And there's a little flag right here, little flag of the United States of America. It's unbelievable. The lack of respect for that country has become incredible. The culture changing, the culture shock, which the United States is going through right now, it is undeniably incredible. And also the reproduction of people on the Muslims and Islam, it is growing because I'm sorry to say this, but in the West, Christians have completely adopted that it's okay for abortion. Christians have become, and we have become so weak that we don't fight against the radical progressive gender agenda, the trans agenda, all this agenda that is completely rubbing it in through your throats. Muslims, they don't let that happen. They don't let that happen. It is totally against their religion. It is completely against their religion. Completely against abortion. Don't even talk about it. Completely against. the religion. And Christianity on the West has become so weak that now you have preachers, sacerdotes, fathers on churches and Catholic churches wearing the LGBTQ flag, thing on their robe. We have become part of the problem. Meanwhile, they continue with their book. The only book that hasn't been altered, I'm sorry to say this, but it's a reality. It is the Quran. That's it. And it is unbelievable how we have altered ourselves to adapt a culture that is not in our values. For God's sake, when Christians and conservatives and independents, when was this acceptable to say and to pass a law to say it's okay to alter a child with his hormones before 8 years of age? It's okay. Don't worry about it. When was okay to say that man is a man but is going to a women's bathroom, but he identifies as a woman? It's okay for him to go because he's a woman. Let him be. He's gender fluid. The hell with that. You don't see that in Islamic countries. I'm not defending. I'm just stating facts. Meanwhile, we are reproducing by the ones and the twos. They are reproducing by the 4 and the 6s, because over here, they're destroying our economy. The leftist, progressive, mercenary, activist, socialist, communist, Marxist. It is destroying our economy. It is destroying our family values. It is completely taking away us from God. And they are turning our minds from capitalism to socialism and communism. And we're living on just crabs, like grab here, grab there, pay here, pay there. My God, I don't know how am I going to make rent? How am I going to make the car payment, gasoline, the food, the schools? So they have cornered ourselves to a place that we don't want to have children because we cannot even sustain it. We cannot sustain a family anymore. The values that they were so implemented in the West, me as a Mexican, I can tell you, the values in our country are simple. Family, first God, family, and we are capitalists by nature. We are hard workers. Every Latino is a hard worker. They believe in family and God. And they're trying to pull us away from that. The Marxists, the leftists. So when they pull us away from that, we are cornered into a place that it is not even sustainable. What is happening to the United States? Not sustainable. So we cannot reproduce. It is a complete attack against Christians. You don't realize Christians are under attack, and I have said this multiple times, for God's sake. 7 years ago, I started broadcasting of the borders in Tijuana. Started in Spanish, then I started in English, traveling caravans, Central America, South America, Darien Gap, 11 caravans, going to Europe. I started saying 7 years ago to all of you guys, I said, the United States is under attack by globalists. You're going to suffer the consequences if you put a leftist, progressive president. Bam, Biden won. Look at the consequences. Holy crap. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, or in France now, as you're seeing the video, or in the UK, the Islam population, it is bam, 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 growing. 2 wives, 3 wives, 4 wives. It's in the Quran. It's in the Hadith. 4 wives. Bam, bam, bam. Treating them all the same. Bam, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids. Growing, growing, growing. Fasting, their religion, Ramadan. Bam, bam. They're Yeah, man, they're consistent. They're in their religion every day, praying 5 times a day. Ba, ba, wudu, ba, ba, educating their child, this, and that. Meanwhile, they're in their thing. We over here on the West, we are concerned to know what is a woman. For God's sake, Jesus Christ, God help us. We are concerned to defend Hamas and Hezbollah. We are concerned to see if the United States is going to send more billions to Ukraine. We are concerned if we're going to keep, the United States is going to keep funding the war in Israel. Not concerned about the survival of your own country. If they're going to survive, it says right there, the fertility rate in the United States of America is dying. Why? Because these leftist neocons, they have slowly killing the economical system and social economical system of your lives. So slowly, bam, going down, going down, going down, going down. Slowly are killing it. And meanwhile, they're reproducing by the 4 and the 6s over here in the West. John, yes, honey. Don't you think we should, like, we have an extra room in the house? You know, I always wanted to have a little girl. Honey, you know what? I'm pulling more than 50 hours a week. There's no overtime. We don't have money to pay the car. You know, I'm behind rent. You wanted a house. I cannot even afford the mortgage. You know, groceries are up. Insurance is going up. We're far behind on the credit cards. My credit score is not good for the TV that you wanted next month. We need to stop going to Costco because it's too expensive. What do you think about a dog? Am I right or am I wrong? Press 1 if I'm right. Press 2 if I'm wrong. I just gave you a stupid hypothetical example that possibly copy paste this. What is happening to us in the West. It is a full-on attack to us Christians. They have weakened us into a point that in the Pride Month, they mock Jesus and we're just standing there and we're just watching, mocking him. They have pushed us into a corner when they are doing their little video awards, Billboard Awards, BMA Awards, the Oscars, the this and the that. They do this satanic rituals, making fun of Jesus, and we're just sitting there and we're just looking at it like, yeah, yeah, Satan is here. Yeah, welcome, Satan. They have pushed us into a corner that they are mocking us so much that on the most important day of Catholics and Christians, that is the Resurrection Day, Transparency Day, and you have the typical average liberal says Transparency Day has been there for thousands and thousands of years. What is the different make from this year to another? Oh my God, you're making a big deal out of it. You're so much fearmonger. Shut the hell up. They're cornering you. The whole purpose of doing that is to tell you, I can humiliate you whenever I want, and I have you right here in the hand, and you're not going to do squat about it. They're doing those little exercises to corner us, to bully us into a place where we don't have no answer anymore. And they're testing us to see if we are going to keep on believing on our God, on Jesus Christ, and on our faith. And because we are cornered and they have weakened us, They know that they have us on their hand. Weak leaders make weak countries. Weak leaders make weak countries. Repeat it again with me. Weak leaders make weak countries. You have a weak leader in the United States. We have in Mexico a weak leader also. I don't care what everybody says. He's not fighting the cartel and he's not eradicating it. And the past ones also, bad ones. Weak leaders make weak countries. When you have a strong leader, he will put the foundations on that country on point. And that country will be strong with strong leaders. Weak leaders, weak country. Strong leaders, strong country. Simple math. 1 + 1. How much is it? It is 39 because I don't know, my result is a liberal. Oh my God, I don't care. Slap on the face, dumbass. It is 2. Simple. The replacement theory has been talked so much in the past years. So many somebody's reciting the Quran right here. And the universe we constructed is with power. We're surely expanded it in the Quran. I can recite also the Quran if you want, man. I know what surah you're talking about. But I will tell you, we are at a point. We are in a point where this video that I just shown you, it is in Europe. What makes you believe that this is not coming with a massive force into the West? What makes you believe that this is not coming to the West, or it's already in the West? Again, I will repeat it to every Muslim. There's a Muslim right here. This is welcome to the live feed. The progressive, mercenary, communist, socialist, activist, liberal will use and do whatever it can so they can bring their narrative and their agenda. You know that right now they're protesting in their schools and they're talking about a socialist revolution. What the hell does that have to do with what is happening in Israel and in Palestine? Nothing. Has nothing to do. But you're actually using, in the meantime, John, well, let's use this to bring our communist socialism because of capitalism. And if there was not capitalism, there will be peace. And oh my God, Jesus, I want to throw up. So bad. But they use the vulnerabilities of people and the vulnerabilities of the situation for their own political advantage. I just told you, to all you Sunni Muslims, that you actually have your wife at home right now, and for her to go to the store, she has to be well covered, wearing a hijab, because in the eyes of God, she needs to be pure, and in the only place that she will share herself is within home with his husband, right? Let me tell you something. These liberals, they're mocking your women. They're dressing up with hijabs and they're mocking your women. It's not about supporting Palestine. It's not about supporting, oh my God, the genocide and oh my God. They're mocking you like they have mock Jesus. Exactly. They're using that you're vulnerable right now. And plus, they're making money out of it. Imagine that. On top of that, but these college women, they're wearing hijabs with a belly button showing. And then after that, when they finish the protest, oh my God, Dorothy, take the hijab off. Oh my God, yeah, it looks so good on you. Oh my God, yeah, let's go have a drink. They're doing haram stuff. All of it is haram. All of it. By the way, where's Ilhan Omar? Where's Rashida Tlaib's hijab? What is she? She's she's a one prayer Muslim. That's what she is. She's just a one day, one prayer Muslim. Rashida Tlaib. She just prays. I don't want to say in the morning because she's asleep, but let's say in the middle of the day, and that's it. She's a one prayer Muslim. What happened? Unbelievable. Let me put this video again on the screen so people can see it. Before I go, 47 minutes going on this live feed, man. And it's not even about the Republic. It's not even about only the Democrats. Let me just tell you something real quick. Senator Mike Johnson, the guy that runs your Senate, right? The guy that is on the chair. He's agreeing to pass a bill for more than $7.8 billion for these NGOs to continue operating at the border. Given aid to refugee and asylees under the international agreements. Which is the international agreement? The Global Compact on Migration, which I have mentioned you for years. This rhino, this snake, it is part of this globalist puppets. It's a uniparty. It's people just playing the game in front of a screen to all of you American people, telling you, yes, we're going to stand against the tyranny of Joe Biden. And we're going to fight for we the people, it is we the people, not we the government. And everybody at the screen, I told you, Dorothy, I told you, this guy's good. Look, he's doing it. Behind he goes, grabs a cup of coffee, high fives Biden, and passes a bill for $7.8 billion for these NGOs that they are consistently being part of the flow massively of people coming in through non-ports of entry, and being part ultimately that you incentivize the cartel on the other side of Mexico to continue with the trafficking and empowering them to make them more rich than they already are, making 3 times more of the money they already made. So this game and this humanitarian business continues, this human slavery, using our Latino people to continue with this abuse to our people. It's not stopping the migration in the Darien, which I have been in there 4 times. No, hell no. That's a business. Who controls it? The United Nations, OIM. Continue with the flow. Central and South America, continue it. It has to go. Where's the end game? The United States. Oh, no, we cannot finish that. We need to fund more. 7.8, man, that's nothing. It's a huge business. Not even Mike Johnson could stop it. And he bent the knee to these globalists. The whole Senate and the whole Congress, it is full. It's counted with my own hand. Good Republicans that they're fighting for the constituents and they're fighting for the republic. It is counted with my own hand. Man, I don't even want to talk about Democrats because all of them, they believe that socialism is the solution. But it's counted with my own hand. The other ones, they're full of rats. They're snakes. They're traitors to their own people. I'm just counting people with my own hand that they can actually stand up and say, I don't give a rat's ass. I don't care if I lose my job, but my job here is to defend my people, to defend the Constitution, and to defend my country. Here is what I believe in. Here is what the people believe in. That they're not sitting down at the Senate just receiving a monthly paycheck and they're happy about it, because if you do not go with what we are saying, the leftists and the progressives, that they have the absolute power of Congress and the Senate, well, you're going to be removed. And you're not going to get voted. So your power is going to end. So these imperialists, they say, you know what? You got to go with the flow, man. If you don't go with the flow, you're no show. That's the way it is. Sadly, video, I'm going to put it again for people to watch this. It's unbelievable. This video is unbelievable. Put it again, right here.
90% has been Islamic immigration. France, 1.8 children per family. Muslims, 8.1. In southern France, traditionally one of the most populated church regions in the world, there are now more mosques than churches. 30% of children ages 20 and younger are Islamic. In the larger cities such as Nice, Marseille, and Paris, that number has grown to 45%. By 2027, 1 in 5 Frenchmen will be Muslim. In just 39 years, France will be an Islamic republic. In the last 30 years, the Muslim population of Great Britain rose from 82,000 to 2.5 million, a 30-fold increase. There are over 1,000 mosques, many of them former churches. In the Netherlands, 50% of all newborns are Muslim, and in only 15 years, half of the population of the Netherlands will be Muslim. In Russia, there are over 23 million Muslims. That's 1 out of 5 Russians. 40% of the entire Russian army will be Islamic in just a few short years. Currently in Belgium, 25% of the population and 50% of all newborns are Muslim. The government of Belgium has stated 1/3 of all European children will be born to Muslim families by 2025, just 17 years away. The German government, the first to talk about this publicly, recently released a statement saying, "The fall in the German population can no longer be stopped. Its downward spiral is no longer reversible. It will be a Muslim state by the year 2050. Muammar al-Gaddafi of Libya said, "There are signs that Allah will grant victory to Islam in Europe, without swords, without guns, without conquest. We don't need terrorists. We don't need homicide bombers. The 50+ million Muslims in Europe will turn it into a Muslim continent within a few decades." There are currently 52 million Muslims in Europe. The German government said that number is expected to double in the next 20 years to 104 million. Closer to home, the numbers tell a similar story. Right now, Canada's fertility rate is 1.6, nearly a full point below what is required to sustain a culture. And Islam is now the fastest growing religion. Between 2001 and 2006, Canada's population increased by 1.6 million, 1.2 of those immigration. In the United States, the current fertility rate of American citizens is 1.6. With the influx of the Latino nations, the rate increases to 2.11, the bare minimum required to sustain a culture. In 1970, there were 100,000 Muslims in America. Today, there are over 9 million. The world is changing. It's time to wake up.
Well, there you go. I want to say thank you to someone that, wow, man, bought me like 50 coffees. Thank you so much. I don't know who you are. God bless your dear heart. Thank you so much. Also to another anonymous, 5 coffees. Also another oh no, Elizabeth Plum. Thank you so much. Buy me a coffee is right there. My God, thank you so much for the support. Buy me a coffee is right there. If you guys like to contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund, it's much needed, people. I travel myself independently and I travel myself alone. I'm planning to travel in the next incoming days. I'm just waiting for approval. One of the places that I want to go on top of the train of the beast and travel with the migrants all the way to the border. Ultimately, I want to go down to the central parts of the distribution of migrants where they are basically signalizing and saying, you know what, I'm going to pick from here to the west, or I'm picking to the east of the borders, study that and basically understand why the geographics and the demographics of that. And also, we're planning to go to South America next incoming soon. So be sure to be watching that. But it's completely important for people to just continue helping. Thank you so much for buying me a coffee. Thank you right there. I will take some comments. 56 minutes going in. Thank you so much. These comments are beautiful, man. I love these comments. I love you, Oscar. Praying for you and your family. Thank you so much, Joanne Crump. Thank you so much. And again, you know, they have pushed Christianity into a point that we are being bullied right now, and in a way that we are being bullied and mocked. And today, also, they're mocking the women of Islam. The liberals and the progressive mercenary, Marxist, activist, communist, socialist liberals, they do not have an agenda. They do not have an agenda of a religion. They will mock whoever they want to mock, and they will use whoever they want to use, and they will attack as whatever they want to attack until they do whatever they want to do. And right now, they're mocking the women of Islam, and I'm waiting for a point that one actual Muslim stands up and says, "What are you doing, lady? You know, you're here to protest about Palestine and for the Palestinian people, or you are here to mock our women wearing a hijab because you're wearing a hijab, but you're wearing a belly button, and plus you're smoking a cigarette, and plus you're drinking beer. What the hell are you doing? This is not a game. You're basically making fun of our beliefs." So I'm just waiting for that particular moment. I don't know. Or are Muslims not upset about that? Is that okay with you guys? That is cultural appropriation, Oscar. That is, oh my God, the hell out of here. It's a reality. I'm just saying. God bless you. Let me see if, you know, I'll give a quick shout out to people if they want to put their comments on the live feed and where they're messaging me from, where they want to talk about. Somebody wants to talk about the fight. Canelo Munguía, ¿qué le pasó a Jaime Munguía? No tenía mucha potencia y era la esperanza de Tijuana. No, todavía, he's still the hope, man. He's still the hope of Tijuana, and I think that he's going to be the next generation. Experience of Canelo took over the fight, and he basically took over from the 5th round and up. He just basically took over. He just, the experience. Experience is everything in life. You know, experience, I have learned this with time, that experience is not a thing that you learn, not even in the elite schools. You learn it with difficulties, with mistakes, with things that you have learned, the hard things in life. You know, it's like you're talking to let me just give you a hypothetical example. It's like you're talking to, there's this, let me put a hypothetical example. There's a lawyer, right? There's a lawyer that goes and has a coffee with a single mom of 3. Let me just give you an example. And the lawyer is telling the mom, "Oh my God, I had a horrible day. You know, I worked 10 hours. I had 2 cases. I don't know what to do. And, you know, I'm so stressed out. I'm so this, I'm so that, I'm so this." Meanwhile, the single mom is sitting there and looking at him and saying, "I have 3 jobs. I have 3 children. You know, my God, I got the payment, I got the mortgage, I got the food, I got to get home, feed the kids, put the kids to do their homework, do the clothes, clean the house, blah, 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 blah." And it's just like, what are you going to teach me about, you know, life when I already gone back and forth 2 to 3 to 4 to 6 times? Experience is everything in life. This is why a lot of Americans have told me, I'm 70 some years old. I'm 60 some years old. What can I do, Oscar? I'm old. No, you're not. Age is just a number. First and foremost, I can tell you that. And second of all, let me tell you, to all the third age people, do you know that you're the more feared human being in the planet and more feared human being in the United States right now? Do you know why? Because you actually know the history and you actually know how that country was founded. You actually know the pedestal of that country. You actually know the foundation of that country. You actually know how that country can move forward and how can it be stopped. You're the teacher. You're the educator. You're the one that is the most feared individual in that country because you know you have the key of knowledge. And you're wondering, what can I do? My God, you have the most gifted thing, that is experience and knowledge. That is the thing that every single human being with life glorifies and learns from mistakes, and ultimately second opportunities bring you into a level that you will understand more everything in life. Copy paste to what happened yesterday, put it in on comparison to what happened yesterday in the boxing fight. Jaime Munguia is a friend of mine. I have done sparring with him 7-8 years ago. I did sparring with him in a gym that is called Zona Norte Gym. Is a really it's a gym in the ghetto in the center parts of our city of Tijuana. I did sparring with him for a couple of fights that he did. He's a friend of mine. I know his dad. He's a really good kid, and we knew that he had talent. He's young still, but he has a really big record. He has like 40 wins, and just his first loss was yesterday to the biggest, to the pound per pound king, that is Canelo. Believe me, he looks sad when he lost, but he's going to learn so much from this loss that he's going to bounce back and be better than he was before. Better dad, better son, better husband, better role model, better speaker, better everything. He's going to learn so much. You learn so much, man, from everything. You learn so much. You know, there's a thing that is there's a thing that they say, ¿Quieres hacer reír a Dios? Cuéntale tus planes. You want to make God laugh? Just tell him your plans. You know, sit down with God and tell him, like, well, tomorrow I plan to be rich. You know, I want to make some millions, and you know, I was wondering if you have some time just to put it in the bank account. Like, it's, you want to make, you know, laugh. You want to make God laugh. Just tell him your plans. You know, nothing is as you want it to. Nothing is in this life is nothing is planned. The only one that has control of things is him. Lastly, I will say, Mexico is a Catholic nation, majority Catholic and Christian. I'm going to speak to the actual country of the United States of America. Christianity, Catholicism, and the believers on our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, we have become complacent. We have become passive. We have accepted that they are mocking and making fun of us. A society that now respects more the religion of Satan than now you will see a pastor or a preacher accepting that homosexuality inside of the church, it is part of the Bible. I don't have nothing against no other person that has a preference of sex. Believe me, I don't have nothing against them. I have a lot of friends that they have different, you know, sexual preferences. But I'm talking in terms of the respect of the religion. Christians and Catholics have become so passive into the way that they can understand, that it can actually be insulted into a point that they're going to be cornered and bullied. At the meantime, the other side, they're not. And I will tell you how much. I will compare it. And it's sad to compare it, but I will compare it. Muslims, they're not being insulted and mocked. The Jews, they will go to war. And us, well, they will tell our son at school that is a woman, that is not a man. And if he says that man is that woman is not a man, or that man is not a woman, he will be expelled from our school. That's how bad it is. There's no other way that we can understand that we need God more than ever right now. More than ever right now. And ultimately, the values of the new society, the new youth, they need to be brought into the educational system. You want to start a revolution? You put Marxist, leftist, communist, socialist, activists, liberals, teachers in your schools. And you brainwash them to make them believe that Marxism and socialism, it is the key of life. Now, nobody can be against that because you will be attacked at every college. We need, and the United States people need to put their principles back in order. That's it. No, it's real simple. Oh my God, how are we going to do it? Oh my God, it's so difficult. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, squat. It's real simple. Take the trash out, put it in a trash can, put the right piece in the right time. That's it. That's it. Clean up the house. It is so easy because the house is dirty right now. Extremely dirty. And it's causing a lot of harm, and it's causing a lot of problems. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. God bless every single one of you, man. Follow all of our pages. At Instagram is Oscar Blue Ramirez. Twitter is Oscar Blue. Man, Twitter, how am I at Twitter? Let me just see right here how I'm registered at Twitter. X, whatever it's X, right? Oscar L. Blue at X. Oscar L. Blue Ramirez at Getter. Oscar L. Blue at Facebook. You have a lot of a lot of pages that you can follow. So thank you so much. I can't comment on X. I think that I have something going on X that is basically not letting people comment. So I will check into that live feed and see why people basically why people cannot comment. I will comment right there. Why people cannot comment. Thank you so much for joining in. Follow Real America's Voice News. Follow my brother Ben Bearquam. This guy right here, White Giant. Frontline America, Ben Bearquam. If you guys want to support good Patriot companies, right here, Patriot Mobile. PatriotMobile.com, Patriot Mobile, promo code RAB. Go over there and get your promotion. Patriot Mobile, Patriot companies, local Patriot companies at Patriot Mobile, right there. Change your mobile company, man. You want to support local, independent, American, good old American companies. Patriot Mobile is the solution. Come on, man. Go over there. God bless you. Stay safe. And people, like we always say. Oh, before I go, buy me a coffee is right there. Thank you so much. And like we always say, people, God's plan, it is our mission. Stay safe.